Do you remember playing your first Bethesda game? That feeling of being sent out into a world that seemed endless. The swell of music as you hit the crest of a hill overlooking a desolate valley. Or the booming crescendo of instruments as a large city barely became visible in the distance. For all of us that love Bethesda, we all do. It was moments like these that led us to fall in love with the creators of these worlds in the first place, and gave us so much hope for the future of the series as well, regardless of the quality of some of the recent entries. And while the worlds Bethesda makes can truly be magical and imaginative at times, I can't help but shake the feeling that something isn't quite right. Whether it's the wastelands of Fallout or the sprawling vistas of the Elder Scrolls, the games are amazing and yet lack something. And weirdly enough, it wasn't until I started playing Dyson Sphere Program that I finally figured it out. For those of you that don't know, Dyson Sphere Program is a new indie game by a studio of just 5 people located in China. It's based heavily on games like Factorio, and essentially the gist of the game is that you're a Decepticon lookalike trying to build a Dyson sphere around the sun. To do so, you have to gather an ungodly amount of materials from different planets to slowly optimize and build an operation big enough to finish an actual Dyson sphere. The hook of the game is creating these amazing industrial parks that start from humble beginnings and slowly grow into cross-planetary metropolises. And I've been finding myself playing countless hours of the game on and off my Twitch stream. But that's besides the point. Because more importantly, playing Dyson Sphere Program finally made me realize what it was that Bethesda was missing. A point. Throughout my now 30 hours in the Dyson Sphere Program, there were 2 things that kept me playing. 1, the sense of satisfaction of upgrading and optimizing my base piece by piece. And 2, my desire to build that damn Dyson Sphere. And that is precisely what made everything click for me. You see, I've always liked Bethesda games, and especially the worlds they inhabit. But on the same token, I've always grown bored of them fairly quickly. That initial excitement of a brand new world would fade once I realized I wasn't sure why I was in it in the first place. In Skyrim, my devotion to the unexplored eventually led to my bewilderment with the main goal. In Fallout 4, a great initial start slowly faded into an obscure and lacking goal to find a father I didn't care all that much about. In all Bethesda games, really, the only thing that kept me playing was the world itself. And that's exactly what makes these games so great and popular in the first place. People aren't playing because of an amazing and unique story, or the most memorable characters in the business. They're playing because of the world, the sounds of a babbling brook as you pass by, the mysteries you find in a deserted cave, and the way a Bethesda game can make you feel like a kid again, when you could just let your imagination go wild, no strings attached. But they're missing the most important part. Dyson Sphere Program is about that amazing world as well. Contrary to what you think, the game isn't about building a Dyson sphere. It's about exploring a galaxy, learning the deep and intricate systems of the game, and creating more and more impressive contraptions, all using your imagination. It isn't so different from a Bethesda game after all. But where it does diverge is what makes it so great. Because while the goal of building a Dyson sphere isn't what the game is truly about, it is the goal that makes it all matter. You see, when I play Dyson Sphere Program, I have fun because it's fun to optimize my builds, create new things, and conquer new planets, all while learning as I go. But the reason I haven't given up on the game, like I have with so many Bethesda titles after just some time, is because I was playing for a reason. Don't get me wrong, I can't stress enough how much I love the worlds that Bethesda crafts. Go back and watch some of my Elder Scrolls lore videos just to see that. And surely by their sales numbers, my opinion maybe means nothing. But I continued to play Dyson Sphere because there was a point, and Bethesda games are sorely lacking that. And a lot of people would argue that's for the better. What makes Bethesda games unique and interesting after all is just that fact, that they don't focus on a super engaging main goal, instead vying to let the player create their own journey. However, it isn't so black and white. A game can still give you agency and freedom to craft your own adventure, all while providing you a goal as a guiding light. Games don't all have to be like Cyberpunk, where your main goal is to save your own life, thus hurting your ability to venture into a world that would otherwise slow you down. And at the same time, they shouldn't just be an open playbook all the time. A main goal, a purpose, is intrinsic to creating an amazing experience. It's why I distinctly remember so many moments from the Mass Effect series, but in all of Bethesda's games, I can only faintly remember some funny or interesting quest lines. I can barely remember any of the main story beats. So what I propose Bethesda can learn from Dyson Sphere Program is the importance of crafting not only an interesting world, but one that gives you a reason to keep coming back. In Bethesda's next game, Starfield, I imagine that many of the systems from their previous games will be present. A fully explorable world, lots of side quests, and crafting and building systems like we've seen in Fallout. And none of that should change. After all, it's what makes Bethesda unique and great in their own way. But imagine just a small tweak to the formula. Instead of being dropped off into the world of Starfield after being a no-name prisoner, for instance, let's spice it up a little bit. Leave hints or narrative points that explain you are a space adventurer on a journey to save the human race. There are suggestions that Earth is in trouble, at near capacity and losing resources fast. And you have been tasked to survey the galaxy along with thousands of others you may or may not meet, that are also beginning to stumble upon a grand conspiracy that involves alien races, political conflict, and the future of the human race itself. These story beats don't have to be all the game is about. In fact, I hope they aren't. Bethesda can keep their style of an open world and ended game, but provide the player with just enough of a reason to keep pushing forward in the world in the first place. Imagine if you could explore multiple planets, discover new and interesting quests and bands of aliens and humans, but at the same time slowly discover and unravel a bigger mystery, all to help the future generations of Earth. This is the kind of game I so desperately hope Bethesda creates in their future titles. One that does not forget what makes the studio so great in the first place, but provides me and you with a goal that we can work towards. What made Dyson Sphere Program better for me than other entries in the genre like Factorio is that everything I was doing, all the pointless optimizations, were things I cared about. And I want to feel the same thing in a Bethesda game. Because at the end of the day, these games are all on the surface a waste of our time. Every second I put into Dyson Sphere Program, or Skyrim, or Fallout, is time I could have spent building a business, working out, working. So why then do we even play? Because the games give us a reason to. A goal that can entertain, empower, and delight us. A goal that can help us learn more about the world and ourselves along with it. Bethesda are masters at creating worlds that we as gamers love to get lost in, to feel as if we are being transported to an entirely new land. But it's time they also give us a reason to care about these worlds, to complete all the quests, and to make more memories. So thanks a lot for watching this, guys. I really do appreciate it. I love making videos on interesting gaming topics and deep dives. And for anyone that's interested, I actually talk about stuff like this a ton on my Twitch stream at twitch.tv/FranklyGaming. I'd love to have you there. Or feel free to join my Discord or check me out on Twitter. I love discussing topics like this. And also, I get a lot of these ideas from you guys. So I really do appreciate all the support. And let me know down below what other topics you want us to all hit on my videos in the future. So thanks for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you guys all on the next one.